Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, tankers of Blitz Universe channel. We have a tank chat again. It's been a long time since we did a 4-game tank chat, and today we have Droodles on Blitz, or is it Droodles Blitz as a special guest? Is it Droodles on Blitz?
It's Droodles Blitz.
Just Droodles Blitz. Welcome, mate. Good to have you here.
Hey.
You sent me 4 games. We're watching you in the Opticon 40 on Mainz. We're going to talk a little bit about the game, about your favorite tanks, about your approach to the game, about the news we've just seen from live from Twister Cup 2019, obviously about your channel as well. So, can I give you the stand for a little introduction?
Sure. Where do I start? Well, if you don't know me, I am Droodles Blitz. I try and make good content for most people on World of Tanks Blitz, ranging from tutorials, me ranting about tanks and crates, and just pretty much like any other YouTuber.
Yeah,
try my best.
There's only so much you can do in terms of content for footage and games, but you've been growing steadily. You sent me about a year ago. You sent me this little note on Discord. Hey Martin, I've started this YouTube channel. Can you give me some exposure, please? I would like to get to 1,000 subscribers this year. How much are you on now?
3,200-ish.
That's not too bad. So something in your wildest dreams that you got to this already, or have you been really active on Discords and?
Well, Needsy got me quite a bit. One of the months. When I was making we had like this whole topic of ideas where we could improve the game, and Fugit made the first video on it, and then I decided to make a follow-up video on Fugit's, and then Meadsy decided to make a follow-up video of my follow-up video.
Nice.
And he shouted me out in it quite a bit, so that got me quite publicity.
Cool. And what would be your way of improving the game?
Tutorial system was one of the big ones that stuck with me, just because when you load into the game, it doesn't really tell you how to, use ammo, shell normalization, how HE works, any of this stuff like that. A light bulb.
Yeah.
When I started, it took me like a year and a half to realize what that meant.
That has been my pet peeve as well, the light bulb. I can't understand why they don't mention that in the tutorial. I could understand why they don't mention shell normalization and everything, but the light bulb?
Yeah. At least say, like, you're spotted for 3 seconds when it pops up.
Yeah.
I always thought, oh, I'm spotted, and then I wonder why I'm getting hit before it even pops up.
Yeah, that's something that I've been talking about as well in one of the tutorial videos that I made, or one of the examples that I made. You've made yourself, I think, examples for tutorials as well about a month ago?
Yeah, I made some examples on shell normalization, all that. I made a whole video trying to discuss all the ammo and certain heavy tanks I'm actually going over, like, currently.
But shell normalization, that's pretty, it's pretty scientific stuff, technical stuff for better players, I think. Would you care to tell us a little bit about what it is?
So normalization is, I think it only affects AP and APCR rounds, and the way it works is when you shoot any type of that ammo, it's going to normalize or angle inward towards the angle of degree you've shot at. So if you shoot at, a Tiger angling at 70 degrees with an AP round, it'll normalize 3 degrees to make it 67, making the armor quite a bit less, and that's why sometimes when you have like those pinkish spots shooting at with AP, it'll penetrate.
Yeah, because the shell wants to go towards a 90-degree angle. All your penetration numbers are about 90-degree angles, about hitting the tanks. Is it something that players really need to know in a tutorial, or should it be an advanced thing?
I don't think really many players need to know that much about it, because it doesn't really affect gameplay itself, just because, it's not going to affect how you penetrate somebody if you shoot at it. It's either just going to work out for you or it's not. But it's just like a nice little trick to know about the game. Sometimes it's worth risking shots on the hazy spots. shooting an AP round over a heat round at certain angles, just to see if it works better.
Yeah, cool. We're looking, by the way, at the second game already. That game in the Opicon 40 and Mines went quite quickly. You gave up the hill. Well,
Oh, yeah.
pretty quick in the game actually. I was kind of surprised to see that. Can you tell us why you decided to go into the tower? Were you on Discord or TeamSpeak together with your platoon mate while you were playing the game, or was it just a spider senses tingling?
Usually when I am on mines or any map, when I was in the 140 there specifically, when I rushed up the hill, I wasn't really finding many targets to shoot at, and as you know, the 140, being Russian, doesn't really have much gun depression, so I didn't want to get hit by the 183 trying to push over the line or any of their tank destroyers to try and get shots into any tanks over that side. So I told my platoon mate to hold the line over on the hillside, and I decided to flank around because I saw I think it was my E100 pushing with over there, trying to fight the 2 and 5B, and I saw he wasn't doing spectacular. So I figured I could use some help and assistance him.
Yeah. And of course, there was the matter of having an E100 over there and a mouse and a lot of big tier 10 tanks, lots of armor. Easy to make mistakes, get overconfident because you're in a 140. Do you like the Russian tanks? Do you like the German tanks more, or is it types of tanks that you enjoy the most?
I like unique tanks. I'm not like a huge fan of specific tanks in general. I mean, not specific like countries, because there's certain tanks in every country that are unique in their own way, like the K91s. Not like the average Russian. So I like that the K91's a lot different, or like the T28 HTC, how they just have different playstyles compared to the average tank.
Yeah.
So I like to run unique vehicles with funky armor aspects, or just anything that's going to make my game a little more exciting. Because I've played 45,000 games now with both my accounts added up. After a while, it starts to get boring for me.
Yeah. Having the same tank again, 400 alpha, no gun depression, troll armor. Is it also that you then like to see the just announced T-49s coming back, the T-49 anti-tank guided missile? Those will be coming back. Are you looking forward to playing those tanks because they have a unique type of gameplay?
I'm looking forward to playing them, but I'm not sure if it's going to be great that they're permanently in the game. Especially like the Sheridan. I think that one's also going to have a GTM.
Yeah.
If I'm not. Yeah.
So there's going to be 2 of them in Tier 9 and Tier 10. Wargaming already stated that they have reworked the controls. It's not going to be a fire and forget anymore.
Oh yeah.
So you can't just click release the missile and keep auto lock on the tank and then drive around. You have to keep the camera pointed at the tank. But yeah, I'm curious too to seeing how this will pan out, what will happen in the game.
The thing I thought was a little odd is that, like a 49, you have to sit and aim for 6-7 seconds sometimes to be able to accurately aim in your shot. And the T-49 AGTM, when it first came out, you could just drive right up the front on a map like Mines and shoot a shell directly into somebody without even aiming, because it just has a 0-second aiming time.
Yeah. Well, you can pretty much avoid it if you can see it coming. I mean, the shell velocity it's so low.
That is true. It's like a KV-2 shooting heat if it had it.
Yeah. Or the old Matilda with the derp gun. It was fun as well, seeing that shell lob over the edge. In the meantime, we've seen game 2 already, Object 252U, with a nice little mastery tucked in as well. What are your let's go for top 5 in terms of favorite tanks. You mentioned already unique tanks, K91s of this world. What are your favorite tanks in the game? Is this one of your favorites, the Batchat?
Batchat's definitely one of the top tanks, but I wouldn't rate it in the favorites. It used to be one of my favorites. It's one of my most played tanks, sitting at like 500, 600.
But it's been superseded by the Progetto now?
Progetto has definitely got to be one of my favorites. It's a little bit too good, I feel, if you can get it in certain scenarios. But yeah, it's definitely one. I'd probably rate that number 5 right now. Definitely one of my top 10 favorite tanks, though.
Okay, let's just pick the top 5, but without placing them spot 5, 4, etc.
All
Just
right.
the top 5 tanks. We
Top
have the
5.
Progetto.
Progetto. I'll say Scorpion G. That's got to be in there.
Oh yeah. Risk and reward.
Oh yeah, gotta love that thing. Along with the Scorpion, I'll put the RHM in there.
With the big gun, with the big
Oh, yeah.
motherfucking gun, or with the long schlong gun.
Gotta run the big gun.
Because
I love my big alpha.
yeah.
T49. That's probably a number 1 spot. And I gotta go with the 121. The just this tech tree one.
Yeah. With the
I just think-
amazing aim time.
Yeah. The aiming
Flat
time is
penetration.
just what sells it for me.
Yeah.
You can snap a shot super quickly in that thing.
Yeah, but yeah, if it didn't have that aim time, it would be very mediocre.
Yes, especially since they're buffing it again. What is this, the third update in a row they're buffing it?
Yeah. Must be not too much people playing it. I think
No.
that's what they want to go for. And I like
Yeah.
this move actually you do in here. You're just kind of waiting for the waffle to wallow around, and then you never really get shot by him. One shot into the lower plate of the Jagdpanzer E100. And come on guys, chase me.
Yeah, I knew they were gonna. People just love to chase the bat shot, I've
Yeah.
learned. It's just like one of the things. I just let my grill try and finish them off now. Unfortunately, he missed a shell though.
Yeah. It's
But yeah, I
always
just-
what happens.
You always think you have support, and then it somehow falls apart.
Yeah. But agreed indeed, if you are in a bat jet or a T-49 or other tanks, they will just go straight into you. And this Jagdpanzer E100, he's doing a good job at wiggling your shots.
Yeah, he did
Actually,
do a pretty
yeah.
good job there.
Yeah.
I figured I might as well just get rid of that third shell and reload the clip.
Yeah. Just take your chances anyway. I mean,
I
doesn't
just
matter
have
if you miss or make a full reload. Shells lost anyway.
I have a deep hatred for WTs in this game. They always seem to hit me no matter what, so I just wanted to get rid of this WT. That was my main thing this entire game.
Yeah.
When I
And
pulled
he was
out
called
earlier,
Mr.
I was
Epic
like,
as well.
I was talking to my friend this game, and I told him that I'm up against a WT, and I bet him that he was going to be the first tank that hit me this game, and it was the funniest thing.
Yeah, but,
I was like,
yeah.
uh,
Luckily, he didn't get 2 shots into you. I mean,
yeah, right?
the tank can hit hard as well. This T123 didn't really pay attention to what was happening on the map.
No,
you-
he did not.
No, if you would have to rate skills for new players, that they would really need to get into their skill set, what things would you consider essential things to know for a new player?
Looking around the map, that's pretty important because I was spotted multiple times over at base 2, and I would have gotten spotted by that STB if I was pushing back towards base. So if the E3 had been looking at the mini map or just been looking around, he would have noticed I was probably coming towards him.
Yeah.
Which is definitely one skill that people need to know is reading lineups and just looking at the mini map constantly.
So you would also advise other players. I mean, you shot 2 shots into the T-57. Have you then drive around, kill the STB? Pop goes the turret on top of the building as well, for good measure. I like that little sequence actually.
Yeah, I gotta love it.
Yeah. So you would then also recommend players to go somewhere else than in, say, the previous 3 games on the same map. If they spawn at, for example, your Mart Harbor, they spawn at base 1, and then they would go into the field usually. Would you suggest them to just go the other way, just because they
Yes,
can?
sometimes I do. Like if I'm running a medium tank and I see that they've got 3 mediums on their team, and I immediately off the bat notice that my mediums are just not doing anything productive, I'll go heavy side just to see if I can flank around, get some shots off. I've learned that it's not worth it to try to risk some hit points just to see if you can even fight other tanks that are gonna beat you.
I think you could call that a skill on its own, knowing when to trade and when not. The lost art of hit point trading. You
That was
get
a pretty lucky game there.
I don't think it was a lucky game, to be honest, when I watched it at first. I mean, the damage was one magazine here, one magazine over there, but you spotted the field quickly and then realized, right, I can push in, but I might get obliterated by the 257s, the T57s, and then the waffle, and then the big Jaegeru. I think it was a good one. Talking about being patient.
Yeah, this game.
Yeah. Can you talk us through a little bit into the thought process on this game?
Well, I started off this game just thinking, well, I've changed my playstyle on this map recently. You're going to see me push up the dome in this battle. I've changed my playstyle and I've stopped pushing up the dome immediately off the game. I actually push into the bush, which is overlooking the dome.
Yeah, so it's going to be this bush, or the bush on the other side of this bunker?
It's the one... I keep moving the screen so much. It's the one that's right on top of the hill.
The one on the left
drove
now.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that bush sort of overlooks where I'm driving up, and what I've learned is because of any nasty tank destroyers like that Jag Tiger.
It's the bush in front of the Jag Tiger at the moment.
Yeah, that's the bush. And I've learned to sit there because I used to push up here in like any quick tank, and the enemy would have a 268 or just some nasty tank push into that opposite bush that I would sit in, or in the other bush, which comes around the corner, and they would just nail you, and they'd back up, and you couldn't do anything.
And then you have an Object 268 sitting there with really good camel rating. Nice one here, HE up the ass for the pattern. No, they didn't quite penetrate, but I mean 429 for an HE roll.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Any damage from me is good.
Yeah, I've had worse ones where you would hit the track zone and then it gets nearly fully absorbed and you do 80.
Yeah.
Which is annoying if you can do 600, I think.
Yeah, that one's a pain.
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved HE's probably one of the most rounds I use on my tanks. I have a rule: any 150 plus millimeter, I have to run at least 10 high explosive.
Definitely. Signs of an AMX to the back of, well, basically any tank.
Yeah, it's definitely useful. That was a lucky shot.
Hello.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah. Say goodbye to 155 millimeters of American justice.
I really wanted to show you this game just because I dislike WTs, as I said, so I was so happy when that happened.
Yeah, and I was thinking right on this one, it was around this moment that I realized this is going to be a good game. At first, when you were up on the dome, I was thinking, oh, okay, well, a game. Not that brilliant, just shooting a few tanks, and then I looked at the counter when you shot that 268, and it's still a close game, 4 versus 4. I'm looking at the damage done, I'm thinking, this is going to be a nice one.
Yes, and I think most of my shots this game pretty much just wanted to fly true, which usually doesn't happen for me in the American tank destroyers, so I was pretty happy this game.
Yeah, you have those games where just every shot goes in. When RNG smiles upon you. But then again, the way you kept positioning and poking out, you only poked out when you had a shot and when you were pretty much sure that there was maybe only one tank capable of shooting you.
Yeah. I've learned now that you really have to conserve your hit points if you know that you can put a bigger mark on the end of the game than you can in the beginning. Because half the games you play, your team's going to fall apart within the first couple minutes of power creep.
Yeah.
And then you're going to be stuck with, you pushed aggressive on one side of the flank and you may have killed the tanks on that flank, but now you're stuck at 20 hit points up against 3 light mediums that are going to just eradicate you in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and that is really beneficial. I mean, you can just push in, you got full hit points, shoot the T62, and then there's just the 268 left. Yeah, there he is. HE, swing the
Graveyard
turret.
of dead tanks.
There we go.
Their whole team pretty much died up here.
Yeah. But you know it was a good game when it looks when it looked like this with all burning carcasses around. Not a great mastery, high caliber, ammo rack as well. And yet a
ammo
donut
rack
on the
set
team.
off my happiness.
Yeah, and yet a donut on the team as well with the IS8.
Yeah, I was quite surprised when I was looking up at the team. I was like, "Come on, guys, pick up the damage here."
Yeah.
Or, you know, their team's still managing to play pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't as much as a walkover as it may seem when you say, "Oh,
Yeah.
that did 6k of damage." It was quite a tight game.
I don't even like the games that are complete flush wins. Those are the games where you're just rushing to see how much damage you can get out. You know, you're like, "Ah, come on, dude, don't brag in front of me."
Same for me. But in doing so, we've also reached the end of at least the games. So people are staring at a black screen now and just listening to our voices. Thank you very much, mate, for the tank chat. If you, my subscribers, haven't subscribed to Droodles Blitz yet, please do so. And I really suggest you do so because he's going to have a little bit of a giveaway on his channel as well. I'm going to give him a few codes for a Cromwell B because you like that tank. And what we're going to do, make a post on your community page. Shall we send him to a video of yours?
Let me think of a video I got. Let's see. Let me look at my channel.
If you drop me a link, there's going to be the little icon top right, guys. Click over that. Visit the video in there from Droodles Blitz. Leave a comment on that video, not on this one. Leave a comment on that video, and then you can enter the giveaway. 3 Cromwell Bs, 500 gold, and 7 days premium. That's going to be the packages. So Cromwell B, 500 gold, and 7 days premium. Not too bad.
Can I win one?
Sure you can. But you have to enter your own giveaway then.
All right, that might be a little bit unfair.
Yeah, I'm not going to be the judge on that one. Thank you very much, mate, for the tank chat. Had a blast talking to you. Please subscribe everybody to Droodles Blitz, and I'll catch you all on the next video. Cheers and happy tanking.